Today is October 22nd. It's a Sunday, 2017, and the time is approximately 9:02 a.m. in the Eastern Standard Time Zone. And we're broadcasting to you live from the Greater Toronto area of Ontario, Canada. And today's menu is spring rolls made the Vietnamese style, braised beef made with a red wine substitute, and spinach dip. So let's get started. We're going to just adjust our settings in Nightbot so that the community could use the commands and see what the recipe is. Great, and I'm getting a text, so let's see what that is all about from our... Okay, yeah, I'm just not set up, so that's why you don't see that. But you said I should start anyways. All right, okay, so... what are the priorities? Okay, I should mute this because I'm going to get feedback. Okay. All right, go to dashboard. So if you're newly tuned in, we're just updating our settings on Twitch dashboard and Nightbot so that the community can use the commands. Okay. All right. And today we're making Vietnamese spring rolls using the deep fryer and also spinach dip and braised beef. And these are all favorites in our kitchen. And we have made the spinach dip and the spring rolls before on the show. They're such a hit that we are making them again. And this braised beef, we haven't featured it on the show. And that is a slow cooker recipe. So we're hoping that by the end of the show, it will be at least presentable enough and edible enough to display on the show and just let you know how it tastes like. Yeah. Okay, so yeah. And if you're newly tuned in, we are casting live from Markham, Ontario. Markham is a city in Canada that is just north of Toronto, which is the financial capital of Canada. In fact, outside my window, I can see Toronto. And we're just in a lovely residential neighborhood that's north of the Toronto border. And it's close to room temperature degrees here, so it's nice. Yeah, and there's sunshine today. Yeah, and I'm just opening up Nightbot to get our commands. Yep, So we're going to do something fun with the braised beef recipe. We're actually going to hack a substitute for red wine. Good morning, it's Wugga. How are you? Hey, Mare Bear, how are you? I'm a little bit behind. I'm still working on my technical settings, but that should be done within a few minutes. Just making sure that in our Nightbot, the commands are reflecting the correct menu items. Yeah. So how have you been, both of you? So it's Wugga, it's confirm that we are going to cook for my in-laws for a meal during the Christmas holiday and feature pheasant jam. They're excited about this walnut pomegranate braised chicken. Yeah, and Mare Bear, we planted garlic in our garden yesterday. Well, Mr. Cook for Fun did, and we hope that we got our timing right, because I know the planting is supposed to be done like a couple of weeks before the first frost. So yeah, let's hope our timing is right and that we can bear a good crop. And yeah, we used the bulbs that we bought from Sheridan, and we're just clearing out the rest of our garden, and we're going to plant some more garlic bulbs from the grocery store to just do a comparison. Yeah, so that should be fun. Okay, and I have to update the recipe that I posted on the channel for the braised beef. I posted the wrong recipe. Yeah, I did a Google search for it, but then I realized it's not the right recipe, so I'm going to update that. And I'm going to hack red wine. I'm going to hack it by using apple juice, a bit of cooking wine, and tomato. It's sort of a combination of techniques that I researched on the internet yesterday, because I figure a lot of people don't necessarily drink alcohol, so yeah, there has to be a way to hack that. Oh, okay. So I haven't met Mare Bear. I'm sure one day when we're out, we will meet. Yeah, and Mare Bear will say hello, and then it'll all come together. Yeah, I haven't been transparent about my real name. I think one day I will. I'm just thinking about the appropriate time to release that. Yeah. I like to be a bit mysterious. Yeah. Okay, almost there. Posting the recipe for the spring rolls. And then I have to correct the recipe for the beef. So recipe, braised, slow cooker. So for the beef, we are going to take out a couple of pieces prematurely. It's a slow cooking recipe that actually takes 6 to 7 hours, but I'll take some out because the sauce will have been fully developed by the time we're ready to serve. Yeah, and so it's all about the flavor anyways. So we'll do that. Okay, braised beef. And my family really enjoyed this. So the reason we are cooking some recipes that we have tried before is that we are celebrating my parents' belated birthday. Yeah, so my mom's, sorry, I'm moving. Okay, I think we're ready to start soon. Just opening up the chat widget. Okay, then I can see our chat. I'm toggling between the... Oh, hello, Kent. How's it going? What a compliment. I'm not a real chef. I'm a home cook, but it's nice. And I always have to mention that disclaimer in case people get the wrong idea. I can't be responsible for that. Did we label the garlic? You know what? We didn't. So I'm going to follow up. Yeah, and we have labeling sticks. So they were taken out, but I'm thinking because I didn't actually see the process get done. I was working when Mr. Cook for Fun was planting them. Okay, where did Streamlab go off to? I think it opened in a new tab. Streamlab, maybe I'll just open another one. Dashboard. Oh, it's right here. Okay. Okay, we're almost ready. Well, thank you everyone for your patience and logging in promptly on time. Usually I would send a message saying that I'm starting late, but my husband said, just go ahead and do your thing while you're live so that people know you're here. Chef for Fun. Aw. Well, I think Cook for Fun is more relatable to people. I want people to feel that cooking can be fun rather than be a chore, and don't take it so seriously. The more you do it, the more you understand how your flavors work together. Yeah. Oh, wow, Maribel, you actually planted potatoes. That's amazing. Wow. Wow. It's not something we thought about doing because they're so affordable in Canada. We're so lucky. Potatoes, 10 pounds, you can often get for $2 on special. I remember when I lived in Asia, I couldn't do that. They come in abundance here, but unearthing it yourself is probably really fulfilling because you dig it out yourself. And you know, in French, potato is called pomme de terre. It means apple of the earth. So when you use the word unearthing, it just gives you that really, really connection to Mother Nature sound to it. It just has a nice ring to it. Unearthing. So, how did you plant it? How did you grow it? Did you take an eye off of the potato and plant it, or do you have to plant the whole spud? Yeah, that is interesting. I learned a lot from you. This is great. Okay, I'm going to now switch it over to our chat's here. I have a laser beam in my face. I do! Okay, great. Hey. Okay, I need to get the chat in the same screen as... Okay, gotta drag it over. I learned how to do this. No. Okay, drag this over to there. Okay, we're good. Okay. The laser beam's pretty cool, isn't it? All right, okay, we're gonna get into position. Wow, there's quite a lot of laser action going on here. Okay, do you need a little light on? Yeah, or we can have natural light to see how the sun moves as the stream unfolds. Okay, and I'm going to just have my mobile chat on in case I go to the stovetop area, which I'll be doing for quite a bit in today's stream. All right. Okay, it's always, I'm gonna just tilt that laptop lid a bit, the lid or the screen. Okay, it's always quite a mental exercise whenever there's multiple items in the menu, so I'm gonna have to keep it real. Okay, so what I've got in my hand right now are wood ear mushrooms. Okay, with the sun, I guess it's hard to see. They look like shriveled up ears. Okay, so I'll give you a close-up view of that. They look like shriveled up ears. Yeah, you can see at the top better. And I'm going to hydrate them in water. And these are going into spring rolls, and it takes approximately half an hour, but we'll just have it soaking until we're ready to use them. Okay, so Mare Bear was lucky because potato was already, okay. Oops, I missed part of the chat. And seed potato helps nourish the potato plant. You got to be careful because potato plants grow berries and they're toxic. Okay, I've heard about that. If any sprouts appear on your potatoes, to remove them. Yeah, and wash the potato. So I've just got these in water. So, yep, Mr. Cook for Fun is doing some DIY shading. We actually don't have curtains, and for our backyard door, we bought blinds. We haven't got the curtains yet, so he's hanging these towels. But that definitely helps a lot. So thank you so much, Mr. Cook for Fun, for that. Yeah, so, and he turned on lights above here. They're just pot lights. They're ambience lights, not very strong lights. It's Wugga's getting a remote control to help. And you're being asked to shift the sun. Yep, so mushrooms. Okay, and oh, Kent, you like these wood ear mushrooms? Yeah, and so you can actually start to see they are growing already. They are blooming in this bowl, which reminds me that I ordered a bunch of flower bloom tea to give out as gifts for Christmas. And it's tea that's been handcrafted with a variety of leaves and petals and bounded together so that when the tea brews in the water, hot water, it will actually form a blossom. There's a little piece. Blossom in your teapot, so it looks nice. And you can see I've got some bedhead over here. Okay, do they taste like ears too? I always tell people that they taste like vegetarian pig ears because they do have that texture of cartilage. Oh, okay, you're still looking for coconut milk powder. Okay, I can definitely name some shops that have it. They might not, you're down by the lake area of Toronto. I'm around half an hour at least from your area, but I know that some grocery stores by Steeles and McCowan and Steeles and Middlefield have it. Yes, I'm not sure which, I haven't been to the stores in Scarborough lately, so I'm not sure, but I would think that some of the grocery stores, Asian ones, I think Brimley and Huntingwood or Warden and Shepherd. Yeah, Brimley and Huntingwood has a big one, and I think they're El Premium, Warden and Eglinton might have it, but I know you are a bit more south than those locations. Yeah, so one day you will make it up to the area that's a bit more north to you and pick it up. Thanks, Mr. Invisible Man. You need the expanding tea in your life. Okay, let me post a link to that after the stream. Yeah, and I can post it on Twitter. Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah, we're in Eglinton. Yeah, so yeah, we're just having a local chat about some areas in Toronto for those of you who are tuning in from outside Canada. Okay, so I'm taking it over to the stove top and we're going to do quite a bit of cooking back here. All right. We're going to start off by browning the beef. Okay, so in this area here, and we're going to do this before it goes into the slow cooker. So as I mentioned, this is there's something on here. I think it's okay. I think it's dried. I think it's dried. Dried vegetable, but I'm going to give that a wiping. 1 second. We're going to brown the beef and also the vegetables that go in. This helps to deepen the flavor for our dish. So by browning slightly browning your food, you get this nice deep earthy flavor that's often associated with mushroom or fish sauce. It's known as umami, that flavor. Yeah, there's that word again. And what is umami? For those who don't know, it's supposed to be one of the senses you have besides bitter, sweet, sour, salty. Umami is another one of them. I thought there were 6 of them. There might be just 5. Sweet, salty, sour, bitter, umami. And umami is a Japanese word, so the Japanese had, I believe that there was another flavor or taste called umami. And that's the deep flavor you get from miso paste, anchovy. So if you ever had the Caesar salad, the dressing is made of anchovy extract or anchovy broth. And seafood in general is associated with having a strong umami flavor. Okay, and it's just a flavor that it's just a deep flavor that is known to enhance your food. So by browning your food, you get a natural umami flavor released. Yes, Winston is in the house. I don't know what he was barking at, but our backyard overlooks a park and there's often residents walking by. Oh, I'm gonna tilt that a bit. Okay. And it's good for him. I think the stimulation and seeing people and having the opportunity to bark at people and animals, it's good for him. Yeah, so this is heating up and we're going to add beef to it. We have around, I think this is a couple pounds of stewing beef. We previously tried this recipe using beef shank and it's very delicious. We found it really, really fatty, so we're trying stewing beef. Yeah. So let's see how this turns out. It's been defrosting for 24 hours in the fridge. Some pieces are a little bit still half frozen, but it's all right. It will cook. Yeah. Okay. Hi, Nose Bear. How are you? And welcome to Cook for Fun TV. And please let us know what country you're tuning in from. So, oh, thanks so much for the follow. I know it's fair. Yeah. So we've got a few time zones represented here. We've got Singapore. So it's 9:23, or let's see, my phone is more accurate. 9:27 p.m. in Singapore. Ooh, that's nice. Nice sizzle. Okay. We have the UK. It's Wagga. It's there. And what time is it in where you are? It's Wagga. And a Mayor Bear in the chat, who is my neighbor, just half an hour drive away from our kitchen. I'm actually going to just dump this beef right in. You get and Mayor Bear gives you a bear hug. That's nice. I was thinking yesterday, I was in such a good mood. Okay, I'm gonna have to break this up. There's some pieces that are still sticking to each other due to the frost. Okay. I was in a good mood yesterday, and my husband and I, we just got a membership to a grocery store club called Costco. It's in the U.S. These, I think a popular grocery club is called Sam's Club. It's a grocery club that promotes bulk food purchasing. They also sell other items besides food, and it's supposed to be cheaper. To be honest, I don't think it's that much cheaper, but there are some items that are, there are some good deals there to be had. And you have to pay an annual membership fee for it. It's our first time doing it. We just, I don't know, we hear about our family members and friends going to this grocery store club, so we thought, and there was something that we wanted to buy from there, and it was significantly cheaper there than at other places, so that's why we got the membership. Yeah. Ooh, okay, I'm gonna have to break this down. Okay. I'm gonna move this. I wanna be more interactive with you and leave the camera so that I'm actually cooking and you see me cooking. Hello, Scaramucci boy. How are you? And welcome to Cook for Fun TV. And also let us know what country you're tuning in from. I do have to catch up and read further down. More bears mean more hugs. Aww. So yeah. So about my about this grocery club, I was there, and there was such a good vibe there. It was busy. It felt like we were in an amusement park. Not as busy, but kind of. It was busy, and people, I don't know if it's because everyone shopping there feels like they're in a club rather than at a regular grocery store. But people were friendly, and you can just talk to people. You didn't normally at most stores, you get that sense that everyone is minding their own business and they don't want to interact. I mean, not that I necessarily want to interact, but I don't mind. I like talking to people, and when I see someone picking up an item, I like to comment every now and then and say, oh, that's really, really good. Or ask, oh, what are you going to make with that? I don't do that often. I wouldn't say, I do that maybe 5% of the time. It's not like I go up to everyone and talk. But there was a more interactive vibe at that grocery store club, and in my mind, I kind of, like when I saw these like grannies, like I wanted to give people hugs, but you can't randomly do that if it's not solicited. So I had that feeling of giving a bear hug to people. Have you ever felt that way to the bears in the room? Of just hugging people. It does smell really, really good, and I've barely browned these. I guess I should turn it up to get more browning going on. It's not really browning right now, it's cooking. It's cooking in its own juices, so I'm just breaking it apart. Yeah. This is gonna be good. There's no bones. It's very lean, but we shall see. Yeah, and I'm not worried about it becoming tough to eat because it's going to go in the slow cooker. So you won't see the final product by the end of the stream, but we will have the sauce. Yeah, it will be cooked enough that the raw juices have completely cooked through and the sauce has built up its flavor. So we'll get that opportunity. I'm a little bit nervous. I'm going to hack red wine using apple juice and cooking wine and tomato. Because honestly, it's not very economical to open a bottle of wine to cook. And so what I'm going to do off to the side a little bit later is kind of experiment as if we were in science class and combine flavors bit by bit to see if I can sort of hack a flavor that's close to wine. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to leave that there to brown, and I have a spoon rest too. Put that back here. Okay, let's catch up. It does smell really, really good, Scaramouche boy. I'm getting hungry too. I didn't eat breakfast this morning, and that's common when I'm streaming that I don't get a chance to eat breakfast. So. So if I miss respond to your comment, just resend it in case I just don't see it. Yeah, or if I'm not sure if the comment's directed to me or to another viewer. Oh, so we've got a couple of people hailing from Singapore. Awesome. Awesome. So we had another viewer too, Branlow from Singapore, and Branlow requested curry puffs, and we made that, and that was a hit. We made curry puffs, and after making that, I was inspired to consider other fillings that can go in besides curry chicken. Like I thought, one of my favorite snacks of all time is Jamaican beef patties. I've mentioned this in a few streams. It's really, really good. It's like curry puff. It's like a turnover that is filled with ground beef, seasoned with spicy Scotch bonnet peppers and lots of thyme spice, THYME, and like garlic and soy sauce. And I thought I could try making that one day, so I've got to get on that. Mayor Bear and I aren't neighbors, but you know what? Compared to, relative to most of you, I guess we are neighbors. Yeah. Oh, Scaramouche boy and Mayor Bear know each other. Okay, so you guys have chatted about bacon candles. What are bacon candles? You see that steam coming up? It's actually going to cook, but I'm reducing it because I want some of this liquid to, I don't know, I want it to brown. It's looking like I've got a lot of juice coming out, and what I might do is pour some of that out so that I can get a nice browning. So I'll do that. I'll pour some of this juice out. And Oh, I forgot a step. I forgot to salt it. Okay, so let's do that. I stuck it right in. About approximately 1 teaspoon of salt. I'm going to salt it. Salt is supposed to bring out the flavor by releasing some of the liquid. So now that I salted it, I will let the salt do its work for a moment, flip it over, and then I'll pour some excess juice into this crock pot or slow cooking pot. Okay. So I've got a bunch of meat that we're working with. For the spring rolls, we're going to use fatty ground pork. The regular is fine. It's just a bit festive to use the fatty one. It's really tasty. And some shrimp. So we're going to be cooking with quite a lot of meat today. Yeah. We're also going to use this root vegetable called taro. And I think in Caribbean they call it dasheen. And some people in the US say it looks a bit similar to a cassava. Yeah. But I think they're relatives of each other. They are root vegetables that have a hint of sweetness. And to me, when it's raw, it kind of tastes like coconut. Kind of. Imagine like a coconut, a starchy coconut that's kind of like a potato, but not as coconutty because it's not coconut. It's just got a hint of that flavor. Oh yes, so Scaramouche boy. We went to Costco. Yeah, and I'm wondering where you're tuning in from. Yeah. Yeah, we were. Maribel and I were born in the same hospital, and we attended neighboring public schools. I went to Darlington, and Maribel went to Lescon. Yeah. Yep, it's a small world. I had really, really fond memories of that area. My parents lived, we were living in a townhouse community, lots of families with young children, so lots of friends, and it was safe. I remember I would go out and play with other neighborhood kids. The townhouse community is sort of like an enclosed, gated area. It's not gated, but the playground is pretty much a private playground in the townhouse area. So the chances are high that you'll recognize most people. And thanks so much for the follow, Scaramouche. Scaramouche, that sounds like the name of a popular restaurant, Scaramouche. Yeah, but I don't know how that's actually, if that's what your name refers to, and if the spelling's the same, or if you have like a alternate spelling of that. Yeah, and it sounds like a fine dining restaurant in Toronto. I've never been there myself, but yeah, I think my brother has. Okay, so there's quite a bit of liquid here. I'm just going to turn that off so that when I lift this up, it's not going to burn, and I'm going to pour some of this beef juice into the crock pot. I don't want to waste it. It's natural beef broth. Okay, I'm going to grab a spider so that I don't drop the beef, but I actually might just pour the whole thing into the crock pot. Yeah, I'm going to do that because we don't, pour it into the crock pot and then put it back into the skillet again to brown it further. Okay, that's easier than trying to drain it because I might not, I'll just struggle, I think, with that. Okay, just wipe this dripping. Okay, great. Now put it back in so it can brown. I'll just squirt a bit of olive oil. I use my sriracha bottle to contain our olive oil because I like this spout. It pretty much keeps the content inside the bottle rather than allowing any oil to streak down the sides. I hate that feeling when you grab your oil bottle and then it's greasy. All right, so let's, okay, oops, wrong burner, okay. Okay, Scaramouche, are you, do you make jewelry for sale? Yeah, very, very interesting. So you two are going to barter. That's always fun. Yeah, shipping is an issue, and I know that I'm going to get a splatter screen. Splatter screen, okay. While I do this. So now we're actually going to get some browning because you can hear the oil spluttering when it makes contact with the beef. I know that a lot of streamers that have giveaways say that their policy is to ship to US only. So yeah, that's a bummer. Like if you're not in the US. Bacon candle. I'm gonna look that up. Yeah, bacon candles. I'm trying to guess what that means. I have this feeling it involves using bacon fat, but I'm not sure. I hate it when the shipping costs more than the actual product. Yeah. But everyone who helps along the way is a business owner, and shipping is a big business. And hence why there was another viewer on last week, Giuseppe, a student in New York, mentioning that a lot of people throw out furniture, and I think that's because a lot of students are originally from like a different state or country, and when they return home after the school year, they don't want to ship the furniture or the appliance back, and then unfortunately a lot of these people don't get on the program with donating it, so they put it in the dumpster, and then a lot of people go dumpster diving for it. I mean, as long as it gets a new home, that's good. But I'm sure a lot of it doesn't get found that way. Well, I hope that substitute works, Mayor Bear. Yeah, I read on kitchen.com. It's kitchen spelled without an E, so minus the E vowel. And the substitute is actually like a grape juice or other types of wine. Yeah, so we'll see. Okay, and I'm going to clean this carrot up. That's going to go in the stock or in the crock pot, or it's going to actually sweat on the skillet. So your girlfriend introduced you to oyster sauce, Kent, and what do you use it for? So in Asian cooking, and Asia's a big region, so I'm going to say Chinese cooking, because I'm not sure, because I'm more familiar with Chinese cooking, that the common seasonings are soy sauce. That's actually pretty common in a lot of countries in Asia. and oyster sauce and hoisin sauce and Chinese 5-spice. I think everything else, like garlic, it's pretty universal. Garlic, pepper. Another popular sauce that's more common in the southern Chinese cuisine is shrimp paste or fish sauce. That's more common. It's not super common, but it's also a part of southern Chinese cooking, and it's very common in Southeast Asian cooking, such as Vietnamese, Thai. I haven't explored Cambodian or Laotian cooking or Burmese cooking. And in our spring rolls, we're going to have fish sauce. But yes, oyster sauce. And a lot of dishes require just a combination of those seasonings. They're not really complex. And I think that's sort of why a lot of fast food, Chinese food is conducive to the fast food industry, because really a lot of food is stir-fried with those seasonings just added. It's fast to cook a lot of those foods. And baking isn't really an Asian thing, so things don't take long to cook. Economical to cook with a bottle of wine. Yeah, also I'm cooking for my mom's belated birthday, so she'd rather not have the wine. So let's see how this goes. We have tried this recipe with wine. It's definitely delicious. You don't taste the alcohol. The alcohol disappears. It's more of that deep red wine flavor that you get, the sweetness that you get. Have you tried cooking bacon while the candle is lit? I hear it smells like candle made of bacon. I'm gonna look into this bacon candle. It's new to me. Okay, let's see how these beef cubes are browning. Again, where a lot of juice is coming out. I did hear some sizzle before. What to do. Well, you know what? I might make up for it by sauteing onions just to get that caramelized taste. Some of these pieces have some brown on it, but that roasted flavor is very, very nice to add to your slow cooking. And that's a tip that I see for a lot of recipes, is to brown your food before adding it to the slow cooker. Yeah. I want to try this one more time. I'm going to put the beef into the slow cooker and just try to put the beef back onto the stove and just try to get it to sizzle again. We'll just put it all in. Okay. I don't want to wipe the skillet because it's loaded with juice, so I'll just leave it there. Hi, Uncle Stinky. How's it going? I've seen you on other channels before, and it's nice to have you here on Cook for Fun TV. Yeah, we've got a nice international representation in today's community: Singapore, UK, Canada, and US. According to those who have came into the chat. Yeah, and there's always lurkers too. Okay, I see that the liquids are reducing, so let's put this back on. I don't know if I should add more. I'm gonna hold off on the oil, although I probably need a bit just to get the sizzle. Okay. Gotta fire it up. Not a gas stove, so it's okay. That sizzles very nice. I'm very determined to get the browning going on. Sometimes we won't bother to try that hard. And sometimes
we won't even bother with this step, but oops, tonight we're having a pretty special dinner, so we're gonna add that browning to the beef. Okay, let's see. Okay, so Uncle Stinky's from Seattle. Seattle's a lovely place, I hear, and a lot of Canadians from British Columbia, they like to take road trips to Seattle. Yeah, because it's relatively close. I haven't been there myself, but I hear that it's a pretty good city for food, and there's a lot of diversity. Yep, there is major caramelization that happens, and it's on high heat now. I just reduced it to medium, but I don't think it's gonna burn. I'm right here. So that's, oh yeah. So we've got some browning happening. Very, very nice. Now this just to prevent some sticking and then work at these. That's very, very nice. I'm surprised Winston hasn't made his way over. The smell of meat excites him. I guess he's upstairs. If he were down here, yep, he'd definitely be right beside me. I wish there was a smell-o-vision. Yeah. It's really interesting to watch movies about the future and how we're going to have robots, and we can actually see ourselves headed to that direction. We recently got solar panels installed on our roof, and we're waiting for the prices of the Tesla car to go down. Yeah, and also waiting for our autopilot because it's safer. It's safer than, yeah. Well, that's if it's accurate. If it's reliable, it could be safer. Yep, we're getting some browning happening here. I don't like driving very much. I drive if I have to, but I don't particularly enjoy driving. We have a lot of multi-lane major streets in Markham, and making a left turn and having the person behind you pressure you, I don't like that. Yeah. So I'm one of those drivers who like to find routes to avoid left turns at major intersections and to try to make a left somewhere else. I know I'm kind of a wimp that way. So I welcome the idea of safer car, like autopilot, ways to make driving safer. Oh wow, curry puffs with sardines. That sounds really yummy. And is the sardines on the side or is it part of the filling? Woo, look at that browning there. Okay, I'm going to turn this down. I think it can go into the crock pot, or crock pot is a branded name. It's actually slow cooker. Okay. And I meant to keep this on, but I think that's a bit too late. We've got splatter everywhere. So it is what it is. All right. So we've got some nice umami flavor going on. And caramelization. Yes, that's the word, Mirabir. Caramelization going on with the beef. Put that right in. And I should have been chopping up the I should have been chopping up the onions, but what I'll do is I will add the celery. I'll just do the chopping. I should have let it sit and brown. So I peeled this carrot. It's going into the spring roll, so that's all right. So I'm just going to brown this celery. I can just move this up a bit, but there's a lot of light going on. Okay, I'm just going to do a bias cut. Yeah. Oh yes, we have to brown about 10 cloves of garlic. Okay. And I'll probably just use an entire ball. Okay. You should try taro. So taro is very interesting. It's used in both savory dishes and also desserts. Yes. So taro and coconut milk are a really good combination. In Chinese and Southeast Asian cuisine, there are quite a number of desserts that combine taro and coconut milk. Desserts are quite different in Asia in that they don't tend to be cakes or solid. There's a lot of desserts that involve a cold sweetened soup. There's a couple of major dessert soups like that, and one is coconut milk that has tapioca pearls floating in there. Not the large ones that you see in bubble tea, but smaller ones. And taro cut into cubes, and the taro is firstly cooked, or you can boil it in the soup the way potato is because it's a root vegetable. And I can show you a close-up of the taro. The taro has these particles in it that are purple. So when you cook taro, you get like a purple hue, a hint of purple, and it's quite nice. There is a popular dim sum dish in the southern Chinese culture. So dim sum, if you're not familiar, is like tapas or appetizers that make a meal. It's the words dim sum mean touch your heart in the Cantonese language. Thanks so much for the follow, Mintberry Mama. Oh, that's a really, really nice name, Mintberry. I've actually got, in honor of, in keeping with mint, I actually have a sprig of mint from our garden. Yeah, we're going to serve our spring rolls with some fresh mint from our garden, and I grew these mints by sticking 4 twigs into the soil, and these twigs barely had any leaves on them, and over the course of 2 months they blossomed or flourished into mint bushes. So we've got an abundance of mint now. So just counting the garlics I have here. I need about 10. Garlic is always good. All right, I'll just use another one. Okay. And we're just going to press these with the cleaver. And I want to catch up on the chat a bit. Oh yeah, so dim sum is, I'm gonna turn this off. Okay, dim sum is a variety of appetizers, and there is one popular dim sum dish. It's also a puff. It's really, really good. If I could make that, that would make me a really, really talented chef. It's this taro puff that's, okay, how do I describe it? First, there's a filling of ground pork that's seasoned. Seasoned ground pork that is filled inside a taro shell. And how do they make that? I believe it's mashed taro that
imagine a mashed taro ball that's stuffed with ground beef. And then it is deep fried, but for some reason, the crust it's so beautiful. I how do I describe it? It's not a breadcrumb crust or a tempura crust or a fish and chip batter crust. With the crust, you get these, I guess it's kind of like a panko. It's okay. Imagine your tempura crust that's got all this panko-y, breadcrumby layer, but it's puffier than that. It's got more body to it. So it's a taro puff with this gorgeous golden crust layer, and that's a savory dish. Yeah, and I would just imagine that you can do the same thing with cassava, other root vegetables too. It's quite beautiful. I think if you search taro puff, dim sum taro puff, you'll see images of it. It's beautiful. And how to make that I think that's very hard to make. But maybe I should give that a try. It's tasty and it's quite different from other deep fried foods that might have a flour-based batter. This has a taro-based batter, so that's quite lovely. Oh, so there's a request for oxtail soup. Wow, I like that because oxtail isn't an ingredient you see often in cooking shows. So yeah, oxtail soup or braised oxtail. And what cuisine or does that come from? Oxtail soup. So I've seen braised oxtail in Jamaican cuisine. Yeah. I haven't cooked with it myself, but those are always fun. Anything that you need, like you make a big portion of and serve it really, really warm. Thanks. I hope there's been quite a few follows this morning, so thank you so much for your support to the new followers. And we take viewers' requests. So today it's more of a viewer's request from my family because we're celebrating my mom's belated birthday. But our show is actually based on viewers' requests. A lot of our foods have been cooked due to viewers' requests. And one item that we're going to make for our in-laws, for my in-laws, my husband's parents this holidays, coming winter holidays, which is fast approaching after Halloween and American Thanksgiving, is pheasantjan, which is a walnut pomegranate chicken. Yeah, and so it's Waga, who is, I think, in the chat, requested that, and we've made it twice on stream. We made it a couple of times for the family. It's definitely a family favorite, so we're really excited all the time to get ideas and requests from viewers. It helps us grow in our cooking and learn more different flavors. We made our logo designer is Hype Stream, a viewer who made the logo while watching the stream. So talented. And we did a stream to honor Hype Stream, and Hype Stream is from Peru, and we made ají de gallina, which is a chicken stewed in a creamy, spicy sauce. And one technique used in that dish was to blend bread right into the gravy to thicken it, and that was a smart idea. It's a great way to use leftover bread, but it's an instant thickener. Yeah,
You don't have to worry about your flour sort of getting lumpy. Okay, so let's brown this garlic. I'm going to try to avoid more oil. Yeah, okay, and I did turn down the heat. I didn't want it sort of sparking while we were cooking. And I've got onions here. Yes, let me think. Okay, I might actually grab another onion later on the show. So I'm gonna I'm gonna use the red onion. Yeah, okay. This size is better. And I'm just going to cut it into wedges, and I'm going to brown them as well. Scaramouche. There is a restaurant, I think it's called Scaramouche, so maybe it's a coincidence that you came up with a name like that. And it's a fine dining restaurant too. Slice like thick fries, then deep fried. Are you referring to taro? Taro fries? Sorry, I think I'm quite behind the chat. Oh, okay, Mary Bear, you make jewelry. Wow, what kind of jewelry do you make? Yeah, that's a fun hobby. Yeah. So your friends must love you. You give them jewelry all for gifts. Yeah. There was in the news, I think a year or two ago, I saw in the news that a waitress was wearing a necklace that she had made, and a customer asked about it, and the waitress and the customer had started a conversation, like just a brief one, at the restaurant about how, like, yes, she made that necklace and she'd love to have a business making necklaces. And the customer left her a check for $700 saying, with a note on it to say, like, keep up the good work. And yeah, and that made the news, and that's such a lovely story that there are nice people that do that. Yeah. So would love to hear about the types of jewelry that you make, Mare Bear. What's the apple juice for? Hello, SWT Juice, 123 Juice. What a fitting question given your username. And thanks for tuning in to Cook for Fun TV. And let us know what country you're tuning in from. We've got Singapore, Canada, a UK, and a US. In the house, in the kitchen. Yeah. So the apple juice is, we're hacking a red wine substitute. It's not going to be perfect, but in the end, everything gets blended in the slow cooker to build up the flavor of the gravy that we'll get from the beef. So, you know what? You're not going to see this, but I'm going to plug the slow cooker in so it can start. It's a little bit dry. No, there's actually beef juice in here. I'm going to start it and just add the remaining ingredients as we go, because we need this thing on for 6-7 hours. Don't worry, I'm not going to keep the stream. I'm not going to be streaming for that long, but by the end of the stream, we should have a good flavor built up with the gravy that we can try one of the smaller beef cubes so that I could explain how the taste turns out. And so we're just browning some more ingredients to add to our slow cooker beef and just having a nice chat. And the juice is a red wine hack. We're going to use some apple juice. It's going to be a science experiment. We're going to taste as we mix. A little bit of cooking wine. This is Asian cooking wine. This is actually rose cooking wine. Most cooking wine is made with rice, like a rice cooking wine. And I saw this at the grocery store, and I thought, rose, that sounds nice. Give it a nice rose. It does smell like rose. Very, very nice, pretty smell. So why not serve up some roses for dinner? And I think add some tomato to it to just give it a, I don't know, I'll see how we go. And this tomato has a lot of spots on it. We grew it in our garden and we have a lot of tomatoes. Let me show them off. All these tomatoes. Our stock is reducing. We've been giving some out to people. So this is an orange color tomato. It looks like a persimmon. Yeah. So we're hacking a substitute for a red wine. Bear jewelry. Bear. I had an earring. I have an earring somewhere that is the shape of a bear head. It's a stud. I quite like it. Yeah, I should find it sometime and wear it. Jewelry is good. People can't stop buying jewelry. Depends. I guess if it's something like an engagement ring, you only buy one of it, or a wedding ring. But if it's fashion jewelry, people can't get enough of it, and they forget. It's one of those things that people shop for spontaneously. They walk by a store, they see some earrings, they just buy them, and forget what they have in their jewelry organizer. Yeah. You make chainmail jewelry. Chainmail jewelry. So when I think of that, chainmail, I've seen chainmail gloves for people who work with knives in the kitchen. I'm thinking about those rings that are connected to a bracelet with a chain, and you see that in Middle Eastern culture as part of the costume for belly dancing. I'm thinking about a belly dance chain. I have one as well, and it's got a lot of nice pretty coins added to it. But yeah, the jewelry itself, chainmail, because I know chainmail has a nice pattern. It's basically like a cloth with lots of links, metal links to it. So yeah, I'm very, very curious now. Yeah. Okay, so let's brown once I add the tomato, it's gonna, all this juice will come out. So let's brown this onion. We've got a lot of cooking today. I'm a little bit nervous, but I think, we've got some browning going on, so that's good. Let me just fire it up. Fire up the electric stove. Chainmail for bears. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to picture chainmail jewelry. I've seen chainmail clothing. I bought this shoulder jewelry before. So you wear it on your neck, but it extends to your shoulder, so that when you wear a one off-shoulder shirt, it shows. It's kind of like an epaulette. I think that's what they call it. That when you have chain on the shoulder, like the uniforms of soldiers often have like decoration on the shoulders, and those are called like epaulettes, I think. And I bought a piece of jewelry that it's got this chain that extends from the neck to the shoulder. Yeah, that's what I think of, but that's not exactly chainmail. But yeah, it sounds pretty cool, so I want to check it out. Jewelry can change your look. So, like if you're wearing there's a lot of browning and roasting going on. Sometimes you don't need to change your outfit. You can just change the jewelry to go from a day look to a night look. And it's just fun. And jewelry often attracts compliments. Like when somebody's wearing a bold necklace, or people often will say, "Oh, I like that. I like that." Yeah, it's one of those like embellishments that attract compliments. So cool. I'm gonna look into that because I do like to wear jewelry, to add some fun to my look. Changling chain. Oh, okay. Changling chain. He makes chainmail armor for stuff. Interesting. For stuffed animals. Chainmail dragons. Oh, Nose Bear, what kind of food are you stuffed with? My eyes. I'm gonna tear up. You can't see me. But I have cried on the stream before. Dragon eye jewelry, very nice. Am I like really behind in chat? As long as I can see you. You can post links, yep, as long as they're healthy. Yep, that's fine. Yeah, no problem. And it's related to the chat. Normally all the links are food related, but that's okay. You're chatting about it. There's nothing, not everything's PG, yes. Sinkalock. Is that a food item or a request? I'll look that up. Is that how you pronounce it, by the way? Sinkalock or, yeah. Yes, I think we can get the same effect by broiling in the oven. It's just, I find ovens are not economic or environmentally and economically friendly because you turn the entire oven on, the entire oven has to preheat, and for cooking a small amount of food, it seems not economical. I like to use the oven when I can fill every shelf with an item. Yeah. Okay, I think we could add I should have added the celery. I'm not too worried about the celery not browning, but we'll just throw that in there too. That's fine. Okay, and I'm gonna chop up the tomato on the side. Yeah. It's not in the recipe that I posted. I'm just gonna sample a piece just to sort of imagine it with like apple. Yeah, so the tomato will add a deep sweetness to it. So let's just add that in. We're working with a lot of beef too, so it's just one tomato. It's just gonna help enhance the sweetness of the dish. And this apple juice we have is unsweetened, so we'll see. I often find that commercially prepared juice is sweet, but we'll see. We had lots of pears. I would have been tempted to use pear juice too from our fruit trees, but I actually cut them up and dehydrated them into dried pear slices. So that's kind of like a candy substitute for us. Yes, lurkers are valid, no problem. It's not like there's a live audience where if somebody gets up to leave, everyone looks, and there's that sense that you have to stay when, say, you need to really, really leave or go to the washroom. So I think it's more easygoing on Twitch. You can sort of tune in when you want. You can be in your bed watching. Yeah, you can be very comfortable. I like that. I like being home. Home is home is my sanctuary. Yeah. Home is just so comfortable. Yeah. I'm not going to worry too much about not browning the celery, although we are getting some browning. Not too much, but some. Okay, I'm going to fire it up and add the tomatoes. Let's see if we'll get some browning. Okay. Okay. Hi, Death Eater. How's it going? Great to see you again. How are your dogs? Have they been racing lately? Yeah, I mean, broiling is good too. And I like being able to see on what's happening on the stove top. So I actually, in another stream, roasted red pepper on the stove top. Yeah, because I just didn't want to put 3 peppers in the oven and turn on the heat for that. So yeah, I did on the stove top and it worked out fine. That was a lot of fun. And for that stream, we were making a Middle Eastern or a Lebanese dip called muhammara. It's a red roasted pepper dip with a bit of walnut and a bit of pomegranate molasses. Very flavorful. Yeah, we had a viewer who's a chef, pretty angry Papa Pug, who used to view quite regularly and always gave tips and had lots of knowledge to share, having been in the cooking industry for some time. And that was a request from Angry Papa Pug, the muhammara, and that was a lot of fun. Yeah. Ooh. Oh, you can't see too well, sorry. Let me move that down. Ah! Okay. Roasted bone marrow. I like bone marrow. I like having pork knuckles, braised pork knuckles. Yeah. It's got a lot of cartilage and, it has a lot of collagen, which is good for your skin, collagen. And it's also got a lot of fat. And I was eating a pork knuckle in front of Winston, our dog, and he was staring at me. He was so jealous. And as he was staring at me, he was licking his lips. That's how into it he got. Good morning, Jessica. How's it going? How were your exams? Congrats for completing those. You had quite a few exams last week and you tuned in. Thanks so much for the follow. Mangawana. Very cute name. And please let us know what country you're tuning in from. We have an international representation here: Singapore, UK, Canada, US, and Belgium. I'd save a cube for Winston once it's cooked. Don't bake it too long. The truth. I'll just turn it off because we're just trying to get some of the umami flavor, but I think we've got that. Okay. I'll actually keep the tomatoes in there to deglaze the pan, deglaze. I think I know what that means. I'm just gonna guess. I saw that word. Okay, I'm going to take this slow cooker. Okay. And put the vegetables in there. Maybe I won't put the celery in. I guess it's alright. Because they can brown a bit more, but now I'll have to pick the onions out. Okay, I'll just move the celery to one side and just shovel the onions and garlics into the slow cooker. And I like how the tomato has juices to just sort of deglaze the pan, which I think what that means is to work any of the hardened roasted bits that are on the pan and get the flavor and get the flavor out. So I'm just tossing. If I don't get everything, that's fine. No sweat. Okay, put it back on. Fire up the electric stove again. And yeah, the tomatoes are diluting whatever roasted bits or burnt. They're not burnt, but roasted bits on the bottom of the pan. Keep every last drop of flavoring. And even if I can't get it all, I'm going to prepare our red wine substitute right in this pan.